Welcome back, homies and honeys, to another episode of Final Fantasy 16 Let's Play. This is gonna be episode 57. Woo, we just went through it. Like, a lot happened in that last hour. The fight, the scenes, the animations, everything. Like, music, top tier, dog. So we just finished fighting Bahamut with fused Phoenix and Ifrit, which I did not expect to see. It crossed my mind, but I didn't really think it was going to happen already. I thought it would be later, but okay. Alright. So let's go. Let's see what's cracking after this. See what's next.
Joshua! Clive! My brother. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're alive. We both are. Nothing else matters. I never dared hope that I would see this day.
Reunited at last.
Jill.
There he is. Oh shit.
This is for my father.
Ultima was in that boy.
It is done. The demon that would tear our house apart is no more. Father.
The Mother Crystal. It's collapsing.
Right. We need to leave. No. Wait. I owe him a debt. Fine.
Uh-oh. Fucking took his powers.
Don't reinforce our situation. Report, Captain.
Can nothing be done to call them off?
I regret not, Your Radiance. The Dragoons answer to none but His Imperial Highness. The Council is powerless to intervene.
We're hearing reports of rebel
Madness is this, Dion.
throughout the neighboring districts.
Focus all efforts on extinguishing the fires around the capital. The city can wait. Don't dally, man, go!
Your Radiance.
Are the doors locked?
I want you to find out
Make sure the doors are
our
locked.
next move.
By the light! Dion, have you taken leave of your senses? Call off the Dragoons at once!
Fear not. The populace will come to no harm at their hands. I am here to save you, Father.
Save me?
A creeping darkness hides in the heart of Sanbrek. It stems from your wife, the traitorous Annabella.
Not another word, Dion.
Father, though you may not see it, the darkness has taken hold of you. It has made you forget yourself. But I bid you remember, there was a time when you ruled not with cruelty, but with compassion. Why now do you turn your back on your people? Why now do you seek to stoke the fires of war? You too have borne witness to this change, Your Eminences. And you know, as well as I, who is responsible for it. A puppet now sits upon the throne, but cut his strings, and the master loses the power!
What?
Dion, you bear steel before your emperor? Guards! Take him!
For every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. Those were your words. But when the last of your citizens has fallen, and all of their homes have been reduced to ash, what will become of your empire, of its rulers, of your god? As the mother crystals crumble one by one, and the blight sweeps in to claim all that we hold dear, our people look to their emperor for protection. Yet he labors not to secure their futures, but to seize what is left of the twins for himself. Even if it should come at the cost of everything his loyal citizens have labored to build.
Dion, you must understand.
A small price to pay, is it not? You've been blessed with great power, Dion. Enough to win me the world. So go, claim Valisthea for me, brother.
Wow, he killed his own dad. Oh shit.
Dion.
Guards! Guards!
Father.
Poor father. How he doted on his children. That he would die to protect me was plain. It was but a matter of when.
You planned this?
You did well to endure so long. But you broke in the end, as I knew you would. And now Muthos approaches. Put him to the proof. I would see if he breaks. Go, Bahamut. Kinslayer.
Okay, so we just got a flashback. So Clive seeing what happened that made Dion flip out, and this is why Dion was raging as Bahamut blowing shit up. And Ultima, aka Olivia, has something to do with that as well. It seems. Prince of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque and dominant of Bahamut. Dion led his dragoons in a revolt against the perceived treason of Empress Ambella and her son Olivier, but was instead goaded into slaying his own father and driven to madness, transforming into Bahamut and laying waste to much of the Dominion. Makes sense? Alright, Olivier Lesage, son of Sylvester and Annabella Lesage, thanks to a large in part to his mother's machinations, Oliver was anointed Emperor of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque, and the fact that triggered half-brother Prince Dion to launch a coup against him. It was Olivier's sinister goading that drove Dion to madness and led to his own demise. Pierced through the heart by Dion's spear, as the boy died, his body crumbled into dust, proof that he had become not but another puppet of Ultima.
Not again.
Brother?
It's a long story.
You cannot stay here, Mother. Come. Take my hand.
Kill him.
Get away from me! This is all just a dream, just a bad dream! You will not take me, Shadow! You will not take me!
Killed herself. It's crazy.
Mother.
Wow.
If it is consciousness that weaves your wills together, consciousness that blurs the boundary between your own will and that of others, then we shall set you apart once more. The time.
The Crystal Flower. When Drake's tail came under attack by the maddened Bahamut, the heart of the Mother Crystal responded by delving into its attacker's innermost thoughts and summoning a creation that which most plagued the tortured soul. That's why it was a flower. Remember, his dad was giving him flowers all the time, telling him to go out. Makes sense. The wyvern tail that represented the trust Prince Dion's father placed in him and his duty to the realm. Damn.
As that bind you shall be severed, and humanity return to its proper place. By primogenesis shall a new age of reason begin.
Primogenesis.
Relax, Your Majesty.
What?
Don't you want to play? It's been a long time.
If that is your wish.
Men, you are as meek as all the others.
Such feeble creatures. Gifted the power of icons, yet slaves to fickle emotions which usher you to your doom. And so you bind your fragile wills with strands of consciousness. The wretched handiwork of a wretched people.
The sons of fire were united at last, and for but a moment their flame burned bright. Soon Muthos shall become our perfect vessel.
And then shall the world be remade.
Not before the bonds are severed, of trust, of respect, of love. Only when every strand of consciousness is cut away, may Muthos return to our side. By primogenesis shall all be undone. Mankind shall be rid of his wretchedness, and Muthos of his will. But while he yet clings to it, he has the power to forge bonds anew, and so we bid you. Find Muthos, and sever every one.
To destroy that which has no physical form. You ask the impossible.
There is nothing your black blade cannot cut, Odin. We shall unite with Muthos, and bring forth a new world. So long as our vessel remains unclaimed by humanity.
It shall be done, Master. My will is yours. Mother.
What the fuck, bro? I don't even know what to say. Like I'm sitting here like lost, bro. I'm like, what? Like I understand that Ultima is playing with your boy's mind, basically. But he's like, he's aware of it. You know what I mean? Like he's not. He knows, right? He called him master. Like he been serving Ultima this whole time or something. Crazy.
How is your brother?
Asleep since I returned from the Dominion. Taya says he should be back on his feet soon enough. For a while, at least. She discovered something on his chest. A swelling, circled in stone.
The curse. For every mountain we climb, another rises up to greet us, doesn't it?
It's never ending. Even the sky seems to have grown tired of it all.
Things fall apart. The power of light. Clive has claimed a portion of the icon Bahamut's essence. Attuning with Bahamut not only changes the elemental aspect of Clive's magic spells, but also allows access to several new iconic abilities such as Impulse. Creates multiple spheres of light that pursue a target, dealing continuous damage. Bahamut's feet. Use Bahamut's icon feet, Wings of Light, to begin casting Mega Flare, an immensely powerful spell that showers enemies with a deluge of searing light. The longer the spell is charged, the more powerful the results. Press circle to cast the spell when ready. Taking damage will cancel the spell.
Tali won't be happy if I disturb Joshua. While he rests, I might as well see what Otto has to say.
Guess we can try on Bahamut for a little bit at least. See how it is. I didn't want to give up Garuda. I'm not giving up Titan. The counter's too good. Layer breath. I don't know about that. A bunch of magic. Satellite. Giga flare. Big ass laser beam. Maximum damage.
It will take time to come to terms with everything that happened in the Dominion. But time is the one thing we always seem to lack.
Ain't wrong. All these notes. Quite the mess. Quite the mess. Word out in Twinside is there's little left of the capital after Mad Prince Royal Tantrum. But what of you and yours? Did you manage to escape before the city went tits up? I trust you did, but a Stolas might be good to set Elle's mind at ease. Theodore. Earthbreaker intelligence. Reports from our brothers and sisters afield are all the same. These accursed skies cast not only pall over the land, but over the hearts of her people. Hearts already heavy from the fall of the Dominion and the destruction of Storm's final mother crystal. For now the realm endures, but with each flood do her few remaining children descend further into madness. The situation is as ever dire. Fresh wings shall find you a new moon's turning. Until then, our watch continues. May the crystal curse be broken. Greetings from the Crimson Caravan. I trust you and your party gained the Dominion without further event. Should your travels ever bring you back to the markets and put you in need of an additional assistance, you will find the Crimson Caravan more than happy to oblige. We might even offer a discount on our usual rates. Eloise. Okay. Ain't got no quests, but we got a lot of new stuff.
Did you see the pair that got pulled into tires?
Aye, all their fancy silks stained red.
Thanks for not leaving me in the Dominion. If you hadn't come back, I might still be stuck there. I told Nan we flew back on the Phoenix, but she walloped me for telling fibs. Can you tell her it was the truth, Clive?
Will do, homie.
Still alive, are ya?
About the skies. I hope you're not expecting me to explain these skies. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say it were the end of the world.
The whole realm's in chaos.
And if I've had orders canceled on me left and right, and that's from a few associates I haven't lost contact with.
As the old saying goes,
Opportunity and adversity, the market for sharp steel more bullish than ever. I'll find a way to keep this place fed and watered. Don't you worry, I won't let our little family go hungry, whatever the weather.
if you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Trouble with your gear, or fraying about us, guys?
Won't help me get my work done. So I'm gonna keep my forge and leave saving the world to those better suited to the task.
Unless that is...
they fancy giving me a hand shooting the birds. Oh.
Well, Sancfordian, do you?
Got a new weapon. Bright burn. why we don't make it. It's definitely an upgrade. Not by much. 268 to 270. It's like very small.
No scratches, all right? And?
Nothing on Mid's dungeon. She took off though. We don't know where she went. Bahamut fight, that's probably the whole level too. It's gonna be challenging, I think. Yeah.
It seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Can you blame them? With the skies as they are?
Twilight.
What can I get you, Sid? Honestly, Sid, you're too nice for your own good. Do you hear that, ladies and gents? The next round's courtesy of the realm's most benevolent outlaw.
Spending 10K buying everybody drinks.
Don't be a stranger, Sid.
Okay. Don't know how much lore we got. I see some hunts down there though.
There's a storm coming, Sid. Will there be thunder?
Will there be thunder?
Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more resilient to the effects of ether than most other beasts? Some say that's one of the reasons they were tamed for use as mounts and sumpters, so that an ether flood wouldn't mean instant death for their riders or drivers. Me, I reckon they built it up over generations. Too many foolish traders driving their birds into floods, and only the toughest surviving.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. With the darkening skies,
Fear has once again taken hold of our hearts. And though I have not the power to dispel the gloom above, I should like to believe my tales help lighten it below.
But be that as it may,
turning our eyes from the problem which face us will not help solve them. Mere tale cannot lighten the burden of those who must bear the weight of the world.
I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them.
Oh, dog.
If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.
Ultima. The otherworldly being behind much of the tragedy and turmoil that has plagued Valistia, he means to claim Clive as his vessel, Mythos, by purging his will, a will strengthened by his ties of consciousness that bind Clive with others. He unleashes primogenesis upon the world, shrouding it in darkness and turning thousands Akashic, that these ties of consciousness might be loosened. So Clive is Mythos? Is that what he's saying? Is that what that says? Like his vessel, Mythos. Primogenesis, a spell cast by Ultima that casts Rolling Pal over all Valistia. Risen Joshua, dominant of Phoenix, former heir to the ducal throne. Though he and Clive trod their separate paths for many years, the brothers were finally reunited amid the ruins of the Crystalline Dominion. Rise of the Worm, a rebellion of the Holy Order of Knights Dragoon that took place in Crystalline Dominion. It was provoked by Emperor Sylvester Lesage's decision to overlook his eldest son, Dion, and make his second-born Olivia, child of Empress Annabella, crown prince in his place. Seeing this as yet another victory for Annabella in her long campaign to subvert Sambrique's politics for her own end, Prince Dion ordered the Dragoons into action, but having lost control of his icon, he inadvertently laid waste to the city he had tried to save. True. Barnabas Tharmar, or Tharmar, the king of Waloed and dominant of Odin, warden of darkness. Though his nation's isolation in Ash allows Barnabas to remain aloof from the affairs of Storm, and he has oft elected to do precisely that. His movements of late would suggest he has ambitions on the western continent. Goats, apprentice of Sharon and ally to the Hideaway, he aided Clive and Jill in gaining entry to the besieged Crystalline Dominion by having them pose as sellswords hired to protect the honest merchant visiting Twinside to trade in smithing paraphernalia. Somehow surviving the chaos that was to follow, he was scooped up from the ruined city by Joshua, who transformed into the Phoenix to effect his allies' escape. Okay. Alright, Alois, owner of the Crimson Caravan, a highly esteemed porterage firm in Bocklid. After her younger brother Theodore awakened as a bearer, she helped him flee from their family home and build a new life far from those who would see him consigned to slavery. Theodore, porter and guard for the Crimson Caravan, the portage firm that he runs with his beloved sister Alois. Many beasts and bandits have eyed his company's caravans, but to date he has cut them all down. Theodore is also a bearer, but was spared the brand after awakening late and being spirited away from his family home by his sister, an act of kindness and self-sacrifice for which he is forever grateful. Hansa, an orphan boy of Bokland, strong-armed into pickpocketing travelers by the nefarious Castones. After being released from the clutches, Eloise elected to employ him at the Crimson Caravan to help him from returning to a life of crime. He pledges to become the first customer of Goats' Forge when the trader becomes a fully fledged blacksmith. Annabella Lesage, former Empress of the Holy Empire of Sambrique. After the fall of Rosaria and the death of Archduke Elwin, she remains Emperor Sylvester's and bore him a son, Olivier. It was her dream, together with Sylvester, she should find a new bloodline, one blessed by both Bahamut and the Phoenix. Alas, her dreams were to be crushed in the wreckage of the Crystalline Dominion when a maddened Dion slew Oliver, and she was to end her life before disbelieving eyes of her son she had betrayed. Deep, boy. She was being a real bitch out here. She was really being a bitch on all ends, alright? Sylvester Lesage, Emperor of the Holy Empire of Sambrique, who plotted with Annabelle Rosfield to slay Archduke Elwin of Rosaria and unite their nations under imperial banner. Together they bore a son, Olivier, whom Sylvester was beguiled into forfeiting his throne. Much of his first son's displeasure, Sylvester lost his life to Dion's spear when he leapt to Oliver's defense in the throne room of the Twinside capital. Like they whole line is fucked right now. Only one that's still alive is Dion, and he's powerless now because Clive done stole Bahamut. Barnabas's mother. The mother, what? Damn, she's just straight up naked. Alright. The mother of King Barnabas of Waloed, or at least an ultimate summoned illusion of her as His Majesty remembers her in life. Yeah, he's playing tricks on her. He's using Barnabas to his own means. We understand that. That's why he showed him Benedicta. Why he showed him Hugo, don't know. There's the medicine girl again that I've seen in like 4 or 5 different cutscenes. Holy Knight Dragoon, elite troops of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque, led by Prince Dion Lesage, drawn largely from the nobility of the realm. Their status as Knights of the Sacred Dragon affords them still higher standing in the eyes of the people in the Battle of the Borderlands in 873. As if in so many conflicts down the years, they proudly led the charge as the Empire entered the fray. However, Prince Dion's opposition to the machinations of the Holy Empress Annabella spurred the Dragoons to rise up against their emperor in an insurgency which saw them fall suddenly and decisively from grace. Grace. Crimson Caravan, the most prestigious portering company in the market town of Bakhled, led by the brother and sister team of Theodore and Eloise. For a small fee, they will move anything that needs moving, and if the cargo happens to be bearers recently released from slavery, they may even consider paying for it in their own purses. Crystalline Dominion, once independent state straddling the continents of storm and ash. With the incursion of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque in the year 873, its independence was reduced a little more than a pretense. But things changed once again in 878 when Prince Dion Lesage and his dragoons instigated a bloody coup. As imperial institutions fell into disarray, so did the situation in the Dominion and beyond. After 5 years, Sanbreque's dominance in the region ended as quickly as it begun. Damn. Over Drake's Tail, a mother crystal that was located in the Crystalline Dominion. It was one of only 5 remaining in Valistia, and the largest of its kind. It was lost in the chaos followed by the rebellion spearheaded by Prince Dion Lesage and his Knights Dragoon, but not before undergoing a fantastical transformation. Heretofore unwitnessed in the entirety of Valistia's history, a literally blossom of the crystal, its shards peeling away like petals of a snow daisy to rival the sacred heart within. To reveal the sacred heart within, my bad. Fall of Drake's Tail. In 878, an insurgency by Sanbreque's Knight Dragoon, led by Prince Dion Lesage, resulted in the destruction of much of the Crystalline Dominion's capital and the mother crystal Drake's Tail along with it. After the prince lost control of his icon Bahamut, one curious thing is to note is that many who survived that night of chaos claimed they witnessed a crystal bloom like a flower before its demise. Right, the Cast Stones, a band of brigands who set up camp in Linty's Cliff on the outskirts of Bakhled, preying on those fleeing the crumbling republic in order to line their own coffers, forcing them to either empty their own pockets or pick the pockets of others on threat of death. The Sins of Desmekis. An incident told of in myths and legends throughout Valistia. Its tales are to be believed that mankind, drunk with avarice through the Drunk with the avarice thought to challenge the gods, and in return for this hubris was met with the divine retribution. This enormous crater in Dhalmekia, said to have been the site of the final battle of the great conflict, is surrounded by relics and ruins which would seem to suggest some truth behind the tales. A big ass hole that never fills up. It's like a big hole probably going through the whole planet. Crazy. And we got the beastry. Goblins, common species of beastmen found mostly in Storm. They have habitually avoided contact with other races, be them beast or man. They continue to spread of the blight, however, has driven creatures to find homes near human settlements, making violent encounters more commonplace. That said, a rare few have been found to possess the ability to crudely converse and at times even cooperate with humans, with humankind. It's true, we've seen this. That means the orcs can do it too, if the goblins are doing it, because we've seen orcs on the battlefield. Dragons, majestic winged beasts that are commonly considered to be some of Valistia's most ancient creatures. Albeit rarely sighted in modern times, there are countless myths and legends regarding dragons. One of the most prominent being that Valistia itself was formed when a mighty drake fell from the sky. According to the Gregorian faith, dragons were created by the goddess herself and to serve as holy sentinels over her earthly demons, and as such have long employed by Holy Emperor Sambrek in various martial roles within and without the Imperial Legion. What is the other beast we're missing? 3 pages. How the hell I miss one? Bahamut, the Warden of Light, whose power dwells within Dion the Sage, Prince of Sambrek, a tribe known as the Motes of Light, once dwelled in the northeast reaches of the Storm, where the great city of Oriflamme now stands, among which the dominant Bahamut would always emerge. In modern times, dominants are often born among Sambrek's nobility, most likely because the tribe's bloodline still runs strong in their ranks.
You are always welcome, Clive.
Ain't got all that lore out of the way.
Is a storm coming soon?
Will it be thunder?
It seems the hideaway's lost its appetite. Can you...
Sid! Look what the Cursebreakers brought back from Dhalmekia. Said they were all the rage in Dalamil. Looks sort of funny if you ask me.
I'll be damned.
Have you had one before?
Something smells good. What are we having?
Bombs! And they are good. You should try one.
Hey? The bloody great hole in it. Who ate the rest?
It's supposed to be hollow, silly. Haven't you ever seen Drake's Fang?
Now, the interesting part about that is if you didn't do that side quest, would that even be a thing?
Shrinks the glim, so spirit still, unanswered call oppressed.
Okay. Thank you, Spoony Bard.
Or the moon, for that matter.
What moon?
us.
Might be hard now there's only one.
Then we're all doomed.
There's barely been a shipment in since the skies started boiling. A few more days without a visit and we'll have to start eating the blankets.
Mmm.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that. There's talk of these skies driving men mad. Most of the hideaways on edge.
Well, it's our job to calm things down. So don't you go spreading ill rumors.
Are we even safe here?
True.
Clive! I don't mean to be gloomy.
But the whole world's gone to shit. Reports used to be about troop movements and chances to set bears free. Now it's all aether floods, akashic attacks, and plagues of bloody bandits. Curse-breakers and all of our allies are doing what they can to keep their heads above water, but
They need all the help they can get.
they're counting on you, Clive. We all are.
Quick look.
Seen enough?
How may I help you today, Clive? It's not true.
Is it, Clive? The world can't be ending, can it? We were struggling before the skies went dark, but now I can't imagine how we will bear it all.
We've lost so much already.
When will it be enough? We'll end, won't it, Clive?
Is everything we've received and everything promised?
You need 5 points for that. Probably get it from doing a
Come
hunt.
again. I may have more for you.
True. What up, Nectar? How goes the hunt, Kupo? If these boogles were bad enough on their own, something like to invite their friends to the party. Some of them like to invite their friends to the party. But never fear, Kupo. I, Nectar the Bold, shall always be with you in spirit. If you need more practical assistance, Kupo, then turn to Torgal. Wow. I, for one, am shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Certain members of your very own species have earned themselves a place in the Rogues Gallery, Kupo. But evil is as evil does, and it's every hero's duty to vanquish it, no matter how close to home it might appear, Kupo. The 10 of Clubs. The Magath brothers. Ruined, reawakened. Oh no. Okay, the 10 of Clubs. Merchants who ply their trade across the fields of Korova. Hell of an outlaw. 5 and 20 hands high, mighty and mighty of through, who preys upon unescorted travelers. They claim he lives alone in one of the many abandoned villages that litter the region, but none has been brave nor foolish enough to narrow the search any further. If you would read this, either or both of those qualities, the Dalmekians beg your aid. So in the fields of Corva, that's the only place they say. Korava. The Magus brothers. A lone rowing boat has been sighted making land off the coast of Port Eistel. Its occupants wearing the garb and speaking the language of Iron King Crusaders. One can only assume that they come to take vengeance upon Sid the Outlaw for destroying that which they hold most dear. We advise against all travel to the area, lest they think they can kill or capture our members in retaliation. So, Port writing these down so I don't remember, so I have an idea where I need to be looking. And that's an S rank, so we got what? A B, a A, and a S. Alright, Ruins We Awaken. Sambrique's legend tells of a dread dragon who set near half the realm of light with his torrid breath before being sealed away behind a magical mist by Gregor herself. Some sources claim, though it has been long forgotten, which parts of the tale are true and which are mere myth. Recent reports of a great dragon roar reverberating around the woodland passes of the Empire are real. Doesn't tell you anything about where this thing is at. Sambrique's legend tells of a dread dragon who sat near half the realm of light with his torrid breath before sealed away behind a magical mist. Land past Sambrique. Yeah, I don't know where the hell to look for that at. Alright.
Otto, how fares the realm?
The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fat storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit.
And Gav?
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just a messenger. I leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
Speak with Vivian, speak with Hippocrates.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts. Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen mother crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces, now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dhalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The
The Einherjar has been sighted off Storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
I mean, she's not wrong. And you notice how they cast the darkness over us and not over. There's no darkness over Waloed. Just the storm. Ash areas, I guess.
It seems the hideaway is lost.
Here's a storm coming soon. Will there be thunder?
Will there be thunder?
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
What will it be today?
It's not merely the men and women of Valistia who have been affected by the imbalance of the ether. These blackened skies have cast a pall over all creatures of the realm.
And how could it not?
They are living beings just as we are. Alas, their instinct drives them to flee from which cannot be escaped, ushering them only into madness and death.
But are we any better?
We consider ourselves above such base instincts, and yet fear and bewilderment drive us to make war on our fellow man, to turn our ire at our own suffering upon those who suffer just as keenly as we do. If that is what it means to be human, Clive, I wonder if we even worth saving at all. Damn. Ask about the Crystalline Dominion.
I cannot claim.
Not to have been shocked to learn that the Twin Side's destruction Indeed, I have long known that such a fate was all but guaranteed. Piece of parchment was all that ever stood between the Dominion and Chaos, and those who signed the treaty were only going to abide by it for as long as it suited them. Emperor Sylvester's invasion saw it torn to shreds at last, and as the pieces scattered to the wind's long festering eminence came to the fore once more.
Such are the wages
Of greed and distrust. If those in power pay heed to their whispers, they are like to grow into a mighty storm, one which walls of even the stoutest citadel might not withstand.
Ironic, then,
That it should be Prince Dion, the boldest, most trustworthy player in the ignoble game, who should deal the finishing blow. Bro,
allow me to educate you.
I just want to open these.
Here you are.
I don't need to read any of those. We know what's
The
happening
state of
out
the
here.
realm is ever changing, Clive.
Thank you.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are three. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a Kashik at her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
The messages from Martha, Isabel and Lubor weren't long. But what they lacked in detail, they more than made up for in urgency. Our friends need your help.
I'm ready when you are, Clive.
Back again? What is it that you wish to learn? I have the details here.
How are you doing? Anything catch your eye? Always something, in there?
Okay, homies and honeys, I just wanted to make sure I got all the dialogue things out of the way so we can just dive into the next episode and continue pushing the story. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and we'll be back for the next one. We gonna be O-U-T out. Deuce deuce.